SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
Cheap adhesive isn't holding me. My mouth is a gun I can shoot. I can show you the truth. No pun intended, no punishment. If I offended you, you needed it. Ideas are the bones in your mind. I'm Fisher in time. If you don't have a weapon, you can't have mine.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, or on recording of this harassment.
I'm not afraid. I'm getting into grievances again. I'm down to absolute zero. I'm not the devil, but I won't be your hero.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good Thursday morning to you. A gorgeous day, and it is nice and fallish outside. We'll put it like that. It's very fallish, which fits in perfectly with today's edition of North Pike Thursdays because, well, we've got a fallish event we're going to be talking about, and I say that only because there is nothing like Halloween in March, so it has to be a fallish event. That's the way it works. North Pike Thursday brought to you by the folks at McComb Wholesale Paper, Southwest Center for Rehab, and Chad Reed, your shelter insurance agent. And joining me in studio now, the PTO president for the elementary. Lot of Advil, I would assume. A lot of aspirin involved in that position. Brianna, Causey, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us.
It's
excited.
You have to sleep really well at night, I would think.
It's been a very busy season.
Yeah, and of course we have with the Geek Squad at the high school. I really want to talk about how the Geek Squad has exploded, by the way. Erin
Yes.
Fortenberry with us. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Now, let's talk about that for a second before we go any further. So, Brianna, talk amongst yourself. But, Erin, the Geek Squad is one of those things that I think may have caught some people by surprise.
It did.
You started it up, and everybody's thinking, "Oh, we're going to have 2 or 3 people."
Right.
That's not how it worked out.
No, we have about 186 members this year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great club. Great kids.
And it's a unique club, I think, too.
It is. It's set up so that kids who have a interest or passion for science can come and be part of a group that has an interest or passion for science. It allows kids to be able to do some community service. It lets them go on a field trip that's science-based, and we have a lot of fun. So it's a great club. I've had fun with it.
Can they make the time quit blinking on my VCR for me?
Some of them probably could. Well, not on your VCR. They've never seen a VCR.
I have no idea what
They
that
can
is.
fix your phone for you.
Oh, okay. There we go. Well, that's a handier skill
That
these
is,
days,
that is.
I think. But it's great to see how it has exploded.
It has. We started off, I think, with about 60 members the first year, and it has steadily gone up, other than COVID, where we had a little dip in our membership, but we just don't talk about those years. It's gone back up, and I have kids from 9th through 12th grade. Some of them have been in it for 4 years, and some of them I have whose parents were in it when they were in high school, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how you start feeling old.
That is exactly how you feel old.
The very first time, and this just happened very recently, someone introduced me to their brand new grandbaby by saying, "This is the man I listened to when I was growing up and I was your age."
Oh, goodness.
And I'm like, I'm about to be charged with assault. I see that. It's going to happen. So, yeah, I get that completely. Now, what we're here to talk about is the Spooky Sprint. If you were with us last year, you heard about it, but we're going to pretend nobody was here. So let's go over it from scratch again for everybody. What is the Spooky Sprint?
Well, I'm going to defer to Brianna because she's kind of over it. We just help.
Tag, you're it.
All right. Well, the Spooky Sprint is the largest fundraiser that the elementary PTO sponsors, and it is a 1 mile fun run for the kids. The kids are encouraged to dress up and come out, and we have a 1 mile run through the campus. They get to run through the hallways, which, only happens once a year. They are asked to collect sponsors, to back them financially. At every level of sponsorship, there's a different prize. So that's how they're kind of motivated to go out and get those sponsors. So it's a great, fun night, and the kids, they're used to it. This is the 11th year that we've had it.
So do you have like seniors coming down going, can I still do the Spooky Sprint?
Absolutely. Well, the cool thing about Spooky Sprint is that it is a whole school involved. We have the Geek Squad. We have the cheerleaders from the high school come in, the cross country team, the soccer team. The teachers are going to be there. It's just great because it's just, a lot of morale, community spirit.
Well, I've got to admit, this may be the single best inducement I've ever heard to get elementary kids to participate in an event. You can offer them,
absolutely,
Snickers bars
right.
and whatever you want. No, tell them we're going to let you run through the halls. Okay.
Exactly.
Everybody's immediately in at that point.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant idea.
Well, I told you that we have different tiers of prizes. So we have a candy cart, we have a homework pass, we have a pep rally that we're going to be putting on for kids who've raised a certain amount of money. The big prize, though, is that they get to dunk the principal or Coach Pig in a dunking booth. So they are after that $500 prize. So we actually have a lot of them who will be dunking next Monday.
Well, and you've got to admit, come on, when you put one of the options up as Coach Pig.
Absolutely. That got them excited. He's coming out of retirement for this. This is a big deal.
Yeah, this is the retired dunking champion, Pig Terrell. Everybody's going to be on board for this because he's a lot of fun, and the kids love him. They really do. Always have. Now, when is the Spooky Sprint? When is this happening?
It's happening tonight.
Oh, today
on the North Pike Elementary campus. We will begin registration at 5:00. The races will go at 5:30. After the races are finished, we'll present prizes, and then we'll have the Geek Squad, who's going to be doing a trunk or treat for the kids.
Yes.
Awesome.
So we started that a few years ago. So the runners, when they get finished running their mile and burning off all those calories, we have them come through and we give them some candy so they can take that home and get jacked up again.
See, I was just thinking, and I was about to, after she got done, I was going to say, this is great because they get to burn off all this energy and go home. No, and now you're going to load them up with sugar
balance.
That's right. And that's one of my students' favorite parts. They all dress in costumes, so my kids know they have to dress in costumes, non-scary costumes, and they come and run or cheer, and then the older kids have the option of not doing anything at Spooky Sprint, just setting up trunk or treat. Then the younger kids have to do both. So they're double teaming it tonight. And then they set up, and it's super fun. They have the best time coming up with a theme, coming up with their costumes. My daughter and her crew are doing Alice in Wonderland. So they've got everybody in a different costume, and they've got a backdrop, and they've spent a lot of time on it. So it gives my kids a chance to do something Halloween-y that's fun and safe. So we enjoy it.
And let me just say, what I love most about this entire thing with everybody coming together is this makes memories.
Oh, yeah.
For the kid. They'll be talking about this when they're 80.
Yes.
They'll remember the Spooky Sprint. Well, you look goofy running in that sheet.
Right. Well, and it's funny. We even have some teachers now at the high school that were my students who were helping with the Spooky Sprints. I found pictures of them and their costumes helping out at Spooky Sprint, was showing the kids. I'm like, yeah, this is your U.S. history teacher. This is your health teacher. And they think that's great. So, this is a generational thing.
Absolutely.
So
that is fantastic. So this is not, no event is, but this event is not really the kind of thing that you started working on Monday, is it? Yeah.
This is a year in the making. Absolutely. Packets go out at the beginning of school. That's when the kids start getting their sponsorships. We will still take money until tonight. it's been a process, but it's a well-oiled machine at this point. And this is the 11th annual. So, I mean, it kind of runs itself. We just have to show up and take the money.
And my kids come in August, and the first thing they ask when they come in to pay their dues for Geek Squad said, now when's Spooky Spread?
Right.
They're already planning costumes and cars at the 1st of September, ready for it. So at this point, I just have to say, okay, be here at this time and do this, and they're ready to go. They know their jobs, and they're ready to go.
And we're so grateful for them because, couldn't run without all the help.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, too, something really cool. I said, for 3 hours, you watch a whole bunch of high schoolers who are never on their phone.
Yeah.
They are just having a blast being with other people.
Absolutely.
And it's great to watch them interact with other people, and especially the kids.
Yeah.
And they think high schoolers are cool.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. By default.
High schoolers are cool.
High schoolers are the coolest people on the planet.
Yeah. They're role models
Exactly.
to them. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, the only question I have is, you take the kids, they do the run, they have a great time, then they go do the trunk or treat, and they get loaded down with extra sugar,
right.
and you send them home. What's class look like tomorrow morning?
See, that's the elementary, so that's not my
problem.
problem.
It's not her problem.
I'm not a teacher, so I send mine on. I send mine on Friday to school. So I'm just a mom.
So what I'm hearing is that question is somebody else's problem.
That's right.
Okay, it's the best kind of problem to have. Yeah, I get them wired up, wound up. Okay, y'all have fun. So I'm taking a nap now. And, it does take a lot of work, but I feel like it really pays off for you guys.
It does. It does. It's our biggest fundraiser. It gets us through the year. So we are able to treat our teachers, throughout the year. Every month we give them birthday biscuits. We do candy cart. We have a Christmas social. We have Teacher Appreciation Week. All of that is sponsored through the funds that are raised with Spooky Sprint. At the end of the year, what we have left in our budget is then given back to the school for a bigger project. So in the past, we have done things like playground equipment. Last year, we purchased a digital marquee from out in front of the school, which looks amazing. We've done smart boards for the classrooms. This year, we're going to be working to make an outdoor classroom. Fantastic. So that sounds fun. Cool. So, it all goes right into our schools, right into our teachers. It doesn't leave the elementary.
That is fantastic. It is. So the shrieking and the fun begins, what, at 5, I think you said?
5
at 5:30?
Yes. Well, the race is at 5:30, registration at 5.
Okay. So everything starts at 5 in terms of getting ready to turn the little heathens loose.
That's right.
And then at 5:30, they're off to the races, literally.
Right. And we will even have Nona's food truck there tonight serving dinner. So it's a one stop.
There you go.
Is it too late for me to participate?
Absolutely not.
You can run through the halls.
I can dress up as a bald bearded radio guy.
There you go.
I've got that costume somewhere. I'm sure I could dig it out if I needed to. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is every year, and it's to me the perfect event because everybody involved is having a good time. They're making memories, and you're raising money for a fantastic cause. There are no downsides here.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
It is. It is. And we'll sleep good tonight.
Oh yeah. Much better than the kids with a belly full of sugar. I can
That's
tell you
right.
that.
That's right.
That's what this time of year is about.
That's right.
Exactly.
This
is the beginning.
Yeah, it's going to get worse from here.
Right.
Look, I am the last person to talk. I'm
Those
holding
are
up.
coveted.
I'm holding up my Christmas
You've
tree
gotten
cake.
started early.
Oh yeah, I got 3 boxes of these at home. First day I saw them out, I was like, honey, what's that over there? And just started shoveling them into the buggy, So yeah, I can understand. I get it.
Yes.
Have a good time. I hope everybody has a wonderful experience with the Spooky Sprint. I know they will. They have for 10 years plus. This year is going to be no different whatsoever. I just have no doubt on that.
Right.
Any final thoughts, guys?
No, we're good.
We're good. We're excited. Yep. See y'all tonight.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to correct you. You're not good. In my opinion, you're both great.
No, well, thank you.
Thank you.
So, there. Take your compliment.
Thank you very much.
Great job, seriously, and keep up the good work. And enjoy that nap this weekend because you're going to earn it, I can tell you that.
Absolutely, we will.
North Pike Thursdays, brought to you by the folks at Southwest Center for Rehab, McComb Wholesale Paper, and Chad Reed, your shelter insurance agent. We continue on this Thursday morning right after this. Keep it here.
Ferocious diagnosis.
you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
Come see me, Chad Reed, at 800 Rock Street for all of your home, auto, and life insurance needs. We're your shield, we're your shelter.
It's a win-win with rehab at the Southwest Center for Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine. We're able to restore activity, strength, and range of motion right after injury or surgery. We offer targeted therapy by designing and adjusting specific treatment plans for individual needs, whether from sporting activities, arthritis, amputation, or everyday injuries. Get back to doing the things you love to do and feeling good while you do it. Contact the Southwest Center for Rehabilitation and Sports Medicine, 601-249-4758, 303 Marion Avenue, McComb, or at smrmc.com. McComb Wholesale Paper Company has been servicing our area for years with quality supplies. McComb Wholesale Paper is your local source for supplying your office, restaurant, concession stand, or household, cleaning and janitorial supplies, food service items, and more. Got an event coming up? We offer daily rentals on popcorn machines, snowball machines, and cotton candy machines. Call 601-684-5521 or visit our new location at 1036 Gordon Covington Road in Summit. McComb Wholesale Paper Company, delivering weekly to Macomb, Summit, and the local area.
This is Kristen with Selman's Jewelers coming to you with the trivia of the week. Last week's question was, which gemstone comes in almost all of the colors of the rainbow? The answer, tourmaline, one of October's birthstones. This week's question is, what percentage of gold is in 14-karat gold jewelry? This trivia is brought to you by Selman's, your family-owned jewelry store since 1945, 1311 Delaware Avenue, Macomb.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast, missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com, it's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the break. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com, it's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon or Apple, or just right there on the page.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Toyota of Brookhaven, Ag Up, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices. Welcome back. SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Dave Hughes on a Thursday morning. Want to remind you here in Southwest Mississippi, the entire state has a fire danger weather alert. The southern part of Pike County and the southernmost parts of Walthall and Amite and Wilkinson and even Marion have an extreme, a significant fire threat. Now, 2 days in a row I have been driving home, and those 2 days in a row, I'm hoping we break the streak today. 2 days in a row, I have passed a wildfire burning just off the road. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what caused them. I have my suspicions. But let me give you a few little tips here, because you hear this burn ban, it's coming if it hasn't already been issued, and I just don't know it yet. They've already got a burn ban in effect for a mid-county. They've got one for Walthall County. Pike County's coming. I'm just going to tell you, it's been too dry for too long. We're not to the same level we were with last year's drought, but we ain't good when it comes to flammability. You add in the wind. We've had a breezy few days as fronts have been coming in this direction and passing through. It's not a good situation if you don't like things burning down. So the usual things apply. Nobody cares about your limb pile. No one, absolutely no one cares about your limb pile. They do care if they live a mile down the road and the wind, a breeze, picks up some embers, blows it down there, and you burn their house down. We really have to reevaluate our priorities sometimes. So don't be burning anything in the yard right now. It's just common sense. It's just a good idea to not do it. So don't do it. Eventually we'll get some rain and we can go right back to it. Until then, no. But this also, the ones that I have seen beside the road, at least one of them, very much to me anyway, passing by, looked like someone had thrown a lit cigarette out the window. Right here in Pike County. That would be my guess. Don't do that. We are headed back in the direction of being a tinderbox outside. You do that, it catches, it lands just the wrong way. It catches fire, and fire is spreading very quickly and very easily right now. So don't do that. Don't throw burning things out of your vehicle. This sounds, again, like advice you shouldn't have to give because, well, who would do that? Oh, there's a list. So don't do that. Basically, don't introduce fire or anything that's on fire to the outside world. And we're good. You can still turn your oven on, but everything else, no. This is not that complicated. There are no exceptions. There is no, but I'm going to be careful and use my garden hose. You going to squirt down all the embers as they fly up into the air? Drift down the road? And then land and launch a fire? You can be so smart, you can wind up being one of the stupider people around. The only way to ensure that your fire doesn't cause a bigger fire-related problem right now is to not have a fire. That's it. It's the simplest, easiest thing in the world. Nobody is going to hand you an award for having the cleanest yard. When that obsession could burn somebody else's house down, it becomes, to me anyway, stupid. So let's try to avoid this. And the only reason I say this with this much fervor is because, again, 2 days in a row, I've driven past a wildfire on the way home. Something burning. So, it looked to me like the second one was somebody was trying to burn something in the yard and it got out of control. Just don't do it right now. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that we mentioned that. Don't forget, as I was talking yesterday to Rhino, coming up in just over 45 minutes at 10:17, remember to get under your desk and pretend it's an earthquake. It really is a good idea. It makes you think about, okay, if this was a big earthquake, what would we do? What would I do? So 10:17, it's the Great American Shakeout. They're doing it all over the country. So you'll be in good company. Now, Tuesday night, we've been busy. It's been a busy week. As you know, been on middays, first part of the week, on the Gallo Show tomorrow morning. But Tuesday night, we had a work session. the McComb City Board of Mayor and Selectmen, and as usual, it ran just about 2 hours. It's amazing how we almost exactly have 2 hours worth of things to talk about every week. It's amazing how it works out to roughly the same time. But okay, that's good. One of the discussions, though, I want to dip into this. Selectman Cotting brought up, I wanted to talk about crime in the city. I don't know if you've noticed, a little bit of crime. It's a scotch, tiny bit of crime right now. And he wanted to discuss what we could do about it. Some good information came out of this discussion and some ideas. And we're going to talk about those, but let's just start right at the beginning where he started talking about crime. He had 2 or 3 items on the agenda at the work session Tuesday night, and this was, I believe, either the second or the third one.
Speaking on money, looking at last year's budget, the police department was underspent by $360,000 in gross wages, and then,
just in case you didn't catch that, the police department underspent by $360,000. They had $360,000 more in their budget than what they spent because they don't have enough officers. It's not that they're not trying to get officers. Let's make sure we make this perfectly clear. They're doing everything they can. But as a result, they save quite a bit of money there, which you would think would be a good thing. I think we'd rather spend that money, which is the point that Selectman Cotting's about to start getting into.
Very similar to overall. With the crime, the concerned citizens about crime, that seems to be pretty gross underspending, or at least from the last update I have. $360,000 left on the table in the police department. If that trend is continuing, Chief, what do you need to get to where? What do you need?
I need a more attractive package to give people, because everybody's trending now in the 40s. So I do know that 50 is asking too much, it's a stretch, but whatever we can do to augment that package, take on cars is great, but a more attractive package, however that looks. I did speak to Marcus about bonus. Nobody in the state, to my knowledge, says bonuses, but people all over the country get bonuses.
Okay. Stop it right there briefly. The mayor is about to talk and say that you can't really give bonuses in the state of Mississippi because of state law, which is true. Which also is ridiculous to me, but it's state law. That's not a local problem. The chief there, after Selectman Cotting said, what do you need? He said a more attractive package. Let's break this down very quickly here, okay? The world that we currently live in, the nobody wants to work anymore world. I have said this many times. I'm going to say it again. It's not that nobody wants to work anymore. It's that nobody wants to work for you for what you're willing to pay and what they're going to get out of it. That is what we're down to. People are spoiled for choice. People that want to work, they got offers hanging off of every tree limb. We talked about that yesterday on Middays. There are plenty of opportunities out there for everybody to make a good living. And a lot of them don't involve getting shot at or dealing with drug users. So if anything, you got to ramp it up a bit. It is competitive. It's a competitive job market. And even when you narrow it down specifically to law enforcement, you got to realize all things are not equal. If you have one municipality offering the same pay, same exact benefits and everything as another municipality, But one of them has developed a reputation as having a big problem with crime and behavior, and the other one you never hear anything out of. And they both have a job opening. Which one are you going to take? Right. So it's competitive in a lot of ways. So to entice people to do that, you got to offer more. You've got to beat the competition. Because you can say whatever you want. If you are a law enforcement officer, or you have an interest in law enforcement, and you look around for your options, you're weighing all sorts of things. Pay is one of them. Benefits is one of them. Working environment is a big one. What am I going to have to deal with? How crazy does it get? What's going on? There are a lot of things that weigh in to the decision of someone looking for a job in law enforcement, which is what the chief was talking about. He went into and briefly mentioned money, but notice the wording that he used. The package, the whole thing. What do you get if you come to work for the city of McComb compared to what are you going to have to deal with? Because, trust me, they're going to look at that when someone is looking for a job. They're going to look at both of those things. What do I get and what do I have to deal with? And sometimes people will take less money to go someplace where they don't have to deal with the same level, the same daily level of problems. So this is a very valid discussion to have because we raised the pay. We have not raised the head count noticeably on the police department. We've got a couple people in, but not much. So what we've done isn't working for the stated goal of building up the McComb Police Department, which will do nothing but help us get a better handle on the crime problem in the city. That's why the chief said the total package. I got to make the package more attractive. That makes a ton of sense. Now, the mayor was just starting because the word bonus was used, giving out bonuses that they do around the country. The mayor saying very correctly that state law doesn't let them do that.
Right. For whatever reason.
Anything else? If you had a short wish list to make a dent in crime or a perceived crime going,
would be for our shots fired, the shots fired. And I understand NOLA doesn't have its various different shot spotters, but go back to Jackson. That's how things started, right? With the shots fired, being ignored, not responding in a timely manner. And they did have the shot spotter, but they did not utilize it. In other cities, you can do research that utilize it. You can pinpoint shots fired. So we respond to 99% of the shots fired, and usually we come up with nothing unless somebody shot.
So you're at how many per shift right now, and how many do you need to get to on the road?
Let me just say, before we start this little segment of it, you're about to learn what the staffing is for the City of McComb Police Department. When you hear these numbers, I want you to picture them. I want you to picture McComb, the size of McComb, the number of people in McComb, close to 12,000. A little bit less than that now because it's been going down. I can't imagine why. You've got all of those people. You've got all of those streets, all of that area that you have to watch, you have to patrol, you have to respond to calls at. How many people do you have to do that is the question. How many people do you have on staff as officers right now with the McComb PD?
Really 6. Roughly 3. Somebody takes a day out for 2, somebody has to come to work.
All right. let's start it back again, because I want you to hear this. Pay close attention to the staffing at the McComb Police Department.
You're at how many per shift right now, and how many do you need to get to on the road?
Ideally 6, or roughly 3. If somebody takes a day out for 2, somebody has to come to work over.
So, ideal, perfect situation. You got 6 guys on the road. You got 6 guys per shift out patrolling the streets of McComb. Right now we have 3, as the chief said, unless someone takes a day off, in which case you're down to 2. So 2 or 3 people to cover the entire city of McComb. If you have 2 calls come in at the same time, that third one, it's going to be a minute. And it's not the police department's fault. That's the point I want to make sure we make here, and I want to make sure everybody understands the actual situation. That's coming from the chief of police. This is not hearsay. This is not something that someone made up. You got, at best, on a perfect night, 3 people out on the streets of McComb. 3. If somebody takes a day off or they get sick, it's 2. How much coverage is that providing? More importantly, if you've got that few people out there on the road, basically, at best, you've got half what you would like to have. There's no deterrent factor there because you can't be visible over the entire city. Not going to look up and see a police car coming or a policeman walking down the sidewalk, talking to people and stepping into businesses. You don't get that. You don't have the time. You don't have the people. And that's why we have to listen to the chief when he tells us what we need, because we need to fix this problem. The only way to fix this problem is with more people, more officers. What we have to do is figure out how to get there, how to get that. Right?
So what I've heard is we need to get pay up about $8,000 more per person, and whatever the shot spotter thing. That's what I heard from our police chief here. From what I've seen from new recruits outside of the last one, they seem to all have to go through the academy right off the bat. I think in the way of college football here, we need some transfers. We need some JUCO guys to come to our D1 program and make an instant impact instead of us having to train them from day one, put them through the academy, not make a difference for 6 to 8 months. What is the barrier for reload packages or sign-on packages, attorney?
Reload package, relocation. In other words, they pay to get you there. They pay your expenses. They rent the U-Haul for you. They pay that bill. They help offset some or all of the cost of housing if you're going to move to McComb from wherever you're at, to get them to come. That's what he means when he says reload package. That's corporate slang for relocation payments. Which is a good idea, but again, in part because we don't have a lot of laws friendly to these kind of things in the state of Mississippi. We got $5 billion in the bank, but everybody else just figure it out, deal with it. So as a result, as you're about to hear, it's kind of hard to figure out a way to work your way through this to boost up packages in this way.
Parts.
Sorry, I was muted. You're talking about packages that could be put in place for police officers? That was the question?
Yes, sir.
You're saying which ones are legal? Or are you asking for my idea?
What's the legal way of temporarily increasing the pay of officers who choose to come to McComb and then reducing their pay back to a normal officer's pay after I don't know, a month or two. How do we get them a little bump to get them to come to McComb?
I think that's just trying to get around the bonus provision. While creative, I don't know if it's possible. But I can check in AG's opinion, see if that's been done. But I don't see where you could just increase pay at first and then decrease pay.
So, got 4 shifts, that's 12 officers. Okay. If the new class of, I think you just said 4 or 5 come through, you need 8 officers. So, what I'm hearing is pay. Okay. And I know increasing pay, it's tough because it's a forever thing. It's you don't want to take away people's pay. You don't want to take away people's livelihood. But if you can give them a bump to get them to choose McComb and leave their current with whatever strings attached that this board wants to do, I just think that we need to do something creative. We need to do something special to fill our ranks. If the police chief's going to stand here and say, this is the barrier we have.
If we get creative.
Selectman Mullins now about to weigh in, while Selectwoman Isaac, I don't know, yells at the neighbor. I don't know what she's doing on the phone there, but it's extremely helpful. But anyway, Selectman Mullins wants to talk about this subject because, he's got an idea.
And if there is a community block grant or some grant out there that we can somehow utilize to build houses or homes that would allow your officers to live at a discounted price instead of pay a full price for rent housing or whatever, that would be contributed to the pay. If there's any kind of grant that we can create, that would help with it. And if they leave, I guess they move, and we'll just put somebody else in there, however it works. But that way you would have something that would encourage them to work here along with the salary that we're offering. Correct. How would that help you? I mean, how would that help in that situation? Or would it even help?
No. Okay. Again, we are at the part of the process here where we're spitballing. We're trying to come up with ideas, something, anything to make it more attractive to work in the city of McComb. Selectman Mullins, from that standpoint, hey, it's a good idea. Good job. We got to try to come up with something, and you're not going to do that by sitting around and saying, well, there's nothing we can do. I'm sorry. We just got to do a better job of selling the city. No. The city sells itself. You have to overcome that at this point. You have to get past that. Of course, you're going to get nothing but support from everybody over the idea that we need to do what we can, figure out some way to make working for the City of McComb Police Department more attractive. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? I would think so anyway. Maybe.
Okay, the $359,000 that he's referring to is about those people who we had 11 open right there to hire 11 officers, right? That's the money that was there. I'm just saying we need to just really just lay it out there. That's for him to get more officers. I feel like the city of McComb is competitive with Magnolia, Summit, and stuff like this right here. But yes, it would be nice to give a pay rate, but we don't have it. We got to just try something that's different. Because they do have what they ask for the take-home car.
So let me weigh in,
Hold on. We're competitive? Then why aren't we competing? You know who didn't need a raise? Board members. You know who didn't need an increase in pay based on performance? The people sitting around that table. Well, but it got voted in because we got to have priorities. No, it's the most self-centered, self-focused nonsense you have ever seen. We're trying to figure out how to attract more law enforcement officers to come work in the city of McComb, to help get crime under control, to help make things better and safer for the citizens. And we're already competitive. We don't need to talk about any raises there, but boy, my raise is nice. The kindest word I can think of to use is hypocritical. That's the kindest. That's the nicest word that I can use. That's hypocrisy of the highest order. If we're too broke to raise the salary for policemen and policewomen, we're too broke to give a raise to the board members. And we seem to have the money to do that. This is not a complicated problem unless you decide to make sure that you poop all over any idea that comes along that might help make it better.
I remember, Chief, I hate to do this. Chief told us move to 42.5, take on car, we'll have people running over, be on our police department. That didn't happen. But what did happen was that we exceeded the county, and the county this year moved their salary. Understand, moving salaries is not the issue.
You know, if I hear one more person in charge of anything that fully believes that employees are not motivated by how much they get paid, that is the most asinine opinion anyone can have. You are not a family. It is not a privilege to work for you. You have to answer the most important question. This question is in the mind of anybody you're talking to that you want to do something for you, whether it is in a job situation, whether it's a favor or whatever. The question in their mind, even if they don't vocalize it, that you have to answer is, they're asking themselves, what's in it for me? And that is an extreme misunderstanding of human beings, of motivation, of basic psychology. You don't get anything if that is your held belief. Now, notice he said that we raised the pay in the city of McComb, and then the county immediately raised theirs and made it more. So that didn't work. Wait, Select Woman Isaac just said that we're competitive. Make up your mind, guys. Are we competitive or not? Are we competitive, or are we not keeping up as everybody else raises their pay? Because it seems like the county understands that pay is a big motivator for getting people, quality people, the people you want to work for you. This isn't rocket science. So you're pointing to the county who said, well, we got to stay competitive. Let's raise the pay, and saying, and that's proof why raising the pay doesn't work. That may be the stupidest take I have ever heard on anything. Why do you think they raised the pay? Because that works. That works. And to use an example of how pay is being raised to increase employment and retention, to explain that raising pay doesn't increase employment and retention, in my opinion, is moronic. Of course it makes a difference. Of course it helps. You can't keep up? Well, maybe the board members shouldn't have gotten a raise. That'd be a little more money you could throw in that direction. And I'm sorry. Yes, in a perfect world, everybody in all departments would get a raise, because that argument is made a little bit later on. We're out of time. I'm not going to be able to get to it today. 100% true. But you know who doesn't care how much they're getting paid? The person that got shot. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter anymore. This is an important thing. Everybody understands that, except for some of the people sitting around that table in the boardroom in the city of McComb. This is not difficult. You want good people, you pay good people wages, which is not determined by you. It's determined by the market. It's determined by the other options that are available. You just came out and admitted we briefly were even with the county, and now we're $8,000 a year behind again. So you want to come to Pike County and work in law enforcement. There's 2 job openings available. Which one are you going to take? Please explain to me how, in your mind, how much you get paid to do it doesn't matter. See, what aggravates me is well, blatant stupidity.
If you cry out for more,
I assume next it'll be suggested maybe we ought to have a pizza party. That'll get more people to come if they hear about our incredible pizza party. Oh, shut up. Fix the problem or quit talking about it, ignore it, and hope it goes away on its own. Spoilers, it won't. Final break. Let's close it down on a Thursday next.
let me take a step towards you. Let me feel you in my hands. Let me cross this line and show you where it leads.
This is Kristen with Selman's Jewelers coming to you with the trivia of the week. Last week's question was, which gemstone comes in almost all of the colors of the rainbow? The answer, tourmaline, one of October's birthstones. This week's question is, what percentage of gold is in 14-karat gold jewelry? This trivia is brought to you by Selman's, your family-owned jewelry store since 1945, 1311 Delaware Avenue, McComb.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Toyota of Brookhaven, Ag Up, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center, Peterbilt of McComb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
That's it. Hopefully at some point we'll get to revisit this conversation because it got, well, if you ask me, it got dumber the further it went. And then we also had, of course, CDS, cotton derangement syndrome. Well, that's a whole different thing. We'll hopefully get to that at some point. You have a wonderful time back in the chair with Lance for the Gallo Show tomorrow morning at 6:06. Make sure to set your alarm and join us, my friend. I'll see you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.